Hello students, good to have you here today. We are here looking at another round and set of questions on government of WAEC. Please sit up and let's do it together. Okay, a nation is best described as a group of people who live in the same village? No? That's funny, you know. Share common history, culture, and ancestry, of course, yes. Belong to the same political party. Wow. No. Are ruled by one person? No. So the correct answer is option B. Share common history, culture, and identity. You agree with me, right? Let's go. Political participation includes refusing to obey laws, voting during election, yes, avoiding public issues, ignoring government policies. The answer is what? Option B. Voting during elections. That is political participation. Any activity you engage in the process of politics. That's political participation. The main aim of separation of power is to weaken the executive, no. Promote dictatorship, no. Prevent abuse of power, yes. Make law making slow. The correct answer is option C. To prevent abuse of power by either of the three organs of government: legislature, executive, and of course judiciary. We move on. The written constitution is advantageous because it cannot be consulted. Why? Once it's written, means you can consult it. So this not is wrong. Okay, it's clear and accessible, of course. It's based only on custom. Now, only, no, that one only. Changes daily. No. Okay, so the correct answer here is option B. It's clear and accessible. Alright? In a democracy, sovereignty belongs to who? To the people. The people is the owner of the sovereignty. The government are only acting on behalf of the people. We couldn't have legislature, we couldn't have judicial, but two of them are organs of government. And they could have a ministry. The military is an agency of the government. Okay? So the people. The next one, the primary duty of the executive arm of government is to execute. Remember, we have three organs of government: legislature, executive, judicial. What does the children do? They implement, they make laws. Executive implements or executes or carry out law. This one is make or enact laws or formulate laws. Okay? Formulate laws. Right? Judiciary does what? Interpret, define, explain law. And of course, adjudicate law. Adjudicate, punish offenders. Adjudicate. Okay? So, executive does what? Make, interpret, implement. Of course, you can see from explanation is implement laws. Who amends the law? The legislature. Who interpret the law? Judiciary. Who makes the law? Legislature. Okay? So C is the correct answer. The Speaker presides over proceedings in the Senate only, House of Representatives, Supreme Court, Federal Assembly Council. The answer is what? House of Representatives. We have the Speaker of the House. Senate only is what? Senate President. The Senate President that presides over Senate. Okay? While Speaker presides over House of Representatives. We also have from the State House of Assembly, State House of Assembly, also presided over by a speaker. Please take note of that, by a speaker. Alright? Supreme Court is presided over by the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice of the Federation. Okay? The Federal Assembly Council is presided over by Mr. President, the head of states. Okay? So let's go. Judicial independence is important because it assures quick decision, fairness in judgment, executive control, legislative supremacy. The answer is what? Fairness in judgment. fairness. When judiciary is independent from other organs of government, legislature and executive, then they will be fair. They will give fair judgment. Fair judgment. No partiality. No
Get the cheapest science materials from
Lawmaking
allschoollabs.com.
at state level in Nigeria is carried by, I just mentioned that now, State Executive Council, no, House of Assembly. That is the State House of Assembly. Every state has one House of Assembly. I just mentioned to you in the previous number 7 question that we have a speaker as the head. National Assembly is for Nigeria, okay, which is a combination of what? House of Representative and House of Senate. Okay, Senate is headed by Senate President, Speaker, House of Representatives by Speaker. Right? We go to the next one. Impeachment is used to appoint judges, remove a public official, pass a bill, conduct election. Is to remove a public official from office. You can impeach a president, you can impeach a governor. Okay? To remove. Right? In a parliamentary system, the prime minister is usually the head of state, leader of majority, chief judge, monarchy. Is the leader of the majority party in the house. Is the leader of the majority party in the house. His party controls the government. His party has the highest number of representatives in the house. The prime minister. Okay? He's a minister, but he's the chief of all ministers. Okay? The chief. I think there's a language that said, the eyes among the equal, something like that. One feature of a federal system is concentration, no. This is unitary. Absence of constitution, no. Division, yeah. Division of powers. Division of powers. Power is divided between the central government and the component units. Component units. So the component units could be region, could be states, and could be local government, as we have in Nigeria today. Okay? Division of power. Power between this and this. Okay? Concentration of power is talking about unitary system. Unitary system. We also discussed this question earlier. Okay? A military government usually comes to power through coup d'etats. See, coup d'etats. A coup d'etat is a sudden seizure of political power. It's an illegal way of coming to power, right? Coup d'etats. It has been their tradition of doing that. And in Nigeria, there was a rumor, there was a coup planned against the current government in October 2025, last year. In a unitary state, local authorities, unitary, in unitary state, we have what they call concentration of political powers. All powers are concentrated in one authority, So if local government exists, it will exist at the expense of that, at the mercy of that central authority. Are completely independent, they can't be independent. They derive power from the central, yes, control the army, and then local government derive their power. If any component unit exists, it will be existing at the mercy of the central government. The central government creates and can uncreate it when there's a unitary system. Okay? The next one. A coalition government is formed when one party when no party has majority in the house. No party has majority and parties join together. When there's no clear winner, for instance, in Nigeria, our electoral system is based on what we call absolute majority. Absolute majority means for you to be declared winner of the election, you must have scored 2/3 of the total vote cast. 2/3 of the total vote cast. That's absolute majority. So when nobody meets this absolute majority, there will be a need for what we call coalition government. Coalition government. Okay? That is two or more political parties coming together to form government. We had that in the Nigerian First Republic in 1960 to 66, where you have Nnamdi Azikiwe as head of state. The Governor General became head of state. It was NCNC, political party, with Tafawa Balewa, who was the prime minister, right? from NPC, Northern People's Congress. So the two parties, this National Council for Nigerian Citizens, these two parties form the government, while Action Group of Awolowo became what? The opposition party. The opposition party, that's for the First Republic. So when no party has majority, parties, you can see plural, parties join together to form government, that's coalition. One advantage of secret ballot is that, secret ballot, when you use ballot paper and you thumbprint. With this one now, nobody know your choice. Nobody see who you are voting for. So your right is protected, your choice is protected, okay? Exposes voters, that is, if it's open ballot, exposes voter. Reduces intimidation, yes. Increases bribery, how? The least counting. The answer is, it reduces. We are talking about advantages. This could be a disadvantage. This could be a disadvantage of this method. Because after the polls are voted, they bring the ballot box, they turn the paper and start counting one by one. But if it's open ballot, which exposes voters, you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get to accept your result immediately. But that one exposes voters to intimidation, okay, to threat. Well, this one reduces it. So option B is correct. The main purpose of party manifesto is to attack opponent, outline policy and programs, appoint candidates, control voter. The answer is outline policies and programs. Manifesto means programs, agenda, policies of a political party that they are planning to exhibit when they come to power. All right? The next one, floor crossing. This floor crossing can also be referred to as what? Carpet crossing. Floor crossing or carpet crossing. It means when somebody is moving from one party to another party, changing political party. We see that very common in Nigeria today, where we have a politician jumping from one party to another for one reason or the other. Okay? By-election is conducted to elect president, fill vacancy, dissolve parliament, and then constitution. Is to fill a vacant seat in the house, in the parliament. Fill a vacant seat in the parliament, that's the legislature, in the house, the legislative house. Okay? Maybe somebody resign. Somebody could resign. Somebody could die. We have seen it in Nigeria today. All right? Somebody could become incapacitated. One is not the other, incapacitated. Incapacitated. So by so doing, what happened? There will be a by-election conducted by INEC to replace that vacant seat of that person. The next question. An election tribunal is set up to conduct primarily resolve election register. The answer is B, to resolve election disputes. After the result has been released, there will always be agitation for and against. Alright, so at that point, the electoral tribunal is set up. A tribunal is a special court. A special court set up to try special cases. Special court for special cases, like election disputes, right? We have that every election time in Nigeria. We have another general election coming up next year, 2027. Of course, there's still going to be a tribunal after the result has been released for disputes and they arrive.
Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the video you just watched. To see more content as that, preparing you for your upcoming exam, make sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on notification. Also, remember that you can use the comment section to send us your questions or your inquiries, and we are happy to take them. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.